when you see your seniors are joining, then obviously you see, yes, there is an opportunity, to be of service to the environment. Some executive power, which we could talk with people, mobilize different stakeholders, and bring them in to clean the buffer area of Valley of Flowers National Park. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how we started working. We started convincing people first. So if you keep shops like this, then it will become very difficult for you to have sustainable tourism, because the whole 19 kilometers route was full of filth.
Right.
It's not that people did not want change, but they did not know, whom to what I can believe. When we brought 50 tons of plastic down there in Govind Ghat, the government staff were not very supportive, because they had their own interest also.
You have a great experience in working with communities. During your tenure in Doon Valley, you mobilized, I guess, 11,000 people, made them plant more than 3 lakhs of plants and restore their village. So I wanted to know how you manage that when most forest officers right now, struggle to convince the local residents, be it, for encroachment or, site khali karani hai around that buffer areas and all. So how do you do that, and why they struggle, you feel?
See, this is basically again, your ethos of working with people matters. Basically, people don't see you as a person whom you should give regard to, until unless the way you work with them, sends a strong message to them. Yeah. So given that, the with mobilizing community to take the responsibility, take the onus to prevent prevent erosion problems in the vicinity of their village, is something we told that we are project people, but we have limited fund.
Right.
So some structures we can make, but it is the community who need to come forward to green these areas. Otherwise, whatever structure we may
It
also
would
will
last. Yeah.
get washed away. Yeah.
Right.
So given that, then working with them, we try to study a lot of socio cultural thematic areas where we can rouse the consciousness of the people for the environment, and
Right.
lot of environment leader like Sundarlal Bahuguna, Chandi Prasad Bhatt, so we used to call them for meetings and get them and at the same time, our staff and the village motivators, we every I think in the month of June, we used to visit every village with angocha
Hmm.
and empty angocha, and ask them to give one muthi miti,
Okay.
telling that I'll give one day for my village to do plantation.
Okay.
So once they made their promise, then right after the onset of monsoon, all
Hmm.
the villagers used to gather. They used to fix a date. They used to or they used to plan out where the saplings would come, where the cuttings would come.
Hmm.
We'll bring the implements. We'll give ghoda khachar that day to
Hmm.
even the khana,
Hmm.
the food which they used to have on that day, it was it came out of donation only, their own contributory fund. Yeah. And every day of Shramdan,
Hmm.
it used to start from a puja.
Hmm.
You see, every watershed there is a mandir on the top. So
Right.
they used to go to mandir on the top, and they used to do puja. So it's very you'll see, in many of my earlier memories, the people वो देवता उतरता है ना
Hmm. Yes.
करते समय, तो in every village with the unique drum beatings,
Hmm.
different devata used to get invoked. Yeah.
Right. Um,
So that was the type of mahol. So after that, after invoking Devta, then subduing Devta, then they used to go for plantation.
Plantation. Yeah, the full ritual,
Yeah, yeah, full
They
ritual, full
they
ritual.
made it like part of a ritual or their lifestyle. I mean, yeah, that is great. I feel even when it comes to environment or forest, community has to take up the responsibility. Otherwise, no
And when
matter.
we saw that after by doing Shramdan, we could save our village, many of the villages which were about to get washed away,
Right. So they
the
were.
time when we went for doing project in many villages, most of the villagers told us that we can't sleep in this village during the rainy season
Mhm.
because we fear that we'll be washed away. Okay, they used to
You
go
are
to another hamlet.
you are talking about Doon Valley and
Doon
Shivalik.
Valley. So
Mhm.
maybe what we did was now we use this constant as opportunity to work with them,
Right.
stabilize their village. That's how when testimony started coming, then lots of people started coming to do Shramdan. That we'll also save our village.
Right. Right.
And the background of Doon Valley, it was because of limestone quarrying.
Hmm.
Uh, then Supreme Court had given a stricture and they banned limestone quarrying in 1982. But that ravage continued,
Hmm.
and most of the villages where the quarrying had happened, it was full of erosion. So that way.
That's why. Yeah.
So I have worked in those villages.
And you were posted in that Doon Valley before 2000, no? Because 2002 you came to.
2001, yes, from 1995 to 2001, I was there, I think.
Okay. And then after that, Nanda Devi National Park, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit in Doon, in what is it, headquarter, then Nanda Devi. Yes.
Okay, so could you say which was more satisfying assignment in
All
between
the
these two?
questions are
Or
equally satisfying in their own terms, basically. So
yeah,
again, I am a person, I don't have,
mhm.
you very
Uh,
fulfilling or not very. I cannot. I don't know. I cannot distinguish.
you just keep working. You don't feel like that. Yeah, I know. And also, apart from these two, I think you are also credited for to form the guideline for mountaineering in Uttarakhand in 2004. So I wanted to understand what led to that, and do you feel it is still, it's still being followed, or
Yeah, it's followed. The
so?
mountaineering guideline is something like when I worked. Uh, See, the story of Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve in Biosphere Reserve, story of Value of Flowers National Park was, laxity in had led to deposition of, huge amount of garbage. Yeah,
Right. Mm.
under the same director. But
Mm.
in Nanda Devi National Park, it was because of the park was closed from mountaineering activity since 1983.
Okay.
So by the time I went there, there was a big rift between the park and public.
Okay.
Ah.
Mhm.
And at that point of time, Uttarakhand also came into being. So people
Right.
had high hope that in the new state, this park will be opened.
Right.
And the mountaineering lobby, which was very powerful, they also wanted to go inside the park. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And very powerful people one also wanted to, and went down there at grassroots people also won, and a very powerful lobby from top is telling that this should be open. Then how a park manager will work?
Mhm. Got
So we worked with the people, convinced them, and with the result, what happened was we convinced them we'll open the park till a point called Dharasi.
it.
That is some, I think it's I think 19 kilometer only. Yeah.
Mm.
Dharasi, and where any tourist can go and see inside the park, and 500 tourists would be allowed in a year. Yeah.
A
So
year.
even that, yeah,
Okay.
till that point. Ah.
Mhm.
But we banned mountaineering inside the park because it was already ravaged. But at the same time, what we did was that to contain powerful people, at the same time convince local people, we
Mhm.
conducted a very independent biodiversity survey of Nanda Devi.
Okay.
Huh? So that independent survey study brought out the report that yes, the park needs to be further closed for quite ahead, for for 10 years, for 20 years. Yeah.
Right.
Matlab, they didn't specify, but he said park is still needs to be conserved.
Hmm.
Okay. There
Hmm.
should be activity should be banned. So given that now we while dealing with Nanda Devi National Park, its garbage, Valley of Flower, I could know what is the extent of the problem the high mountain tourism in the name of mountaineering is doing. Okay.
Hmm.
So given that I uh, thought that Uttarakhand needs to have a policy on mountaineering. And
Right.
my earlier chief secretary greatly supported me, Dr. Adas Tolia.
Okay. So.
So I told him that it will be good. It's a new state. We have to be environmentally conscious. So can I prepare a mountaineering guideline for Uttarakhand? Then he was very happy. He said, "Go ahead."
Hmm.
Then I prepared mountaineering guideline for 83 mountaineering peaks.
Okay.
In that mountaineering peaks, Nanda Devi and its few peaks which you have route only from inside the park. They are not there.
Okay.
So that guideline was mostly, we needed that guideline because some of the exclusive areas from the point of biodiversity uh, had to be outside that list basically. So that is also there, and government also accepted. Then this mountaineering guideline of it was issued, and again now that was in 2005.
Right.
Again, after I think my tenure as joint secretary
Hmm.
in central government, I went back in 20. Then again I revised that mountaineering guideline.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what was the new addition in that?
न्यू एडिशन में और पिक्स आइडेंटिफाई कर गए थे जो
Hmm.
अंदर के हैं, क्योंकि वो ये डिफेंस इत्यादि के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, कोई जाए वहां पर। तो
Hmm.
ऐसे पिक्स को ओपन करके आई थिंक 93 या 95 पिक्स को ओपन करके रखा है अभी। हाँ, और आई थिंक 95 पिक्स। सो नाउ इसमें मेनली अभी क्या है कि इंडियन माउंटेनियरिंग फाउंडेशन के साथ में
Hmm.
जो इसको अप्लाई करना है उसको मतलब एक सिंगल विंडो के माध्यम से कर दिया है इन टर्म्स ऑफ गेटिंग द ईज ऑफ डूइंग माउंटेनियरिंग ट्रांजैक्शंस ना. So
Okay.
this revised guideline has eased them a lot basically. You need to apply only one at one place.
Hmm.
देन स्वतः ही सारा इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में आ जाएगा, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे तो वो पोर्टल में दिखाई देगा, तब माउंटेनियर अपनी तैयारी के साथ आ सकते हैं ये.
अच्छा. Okay. एंड मैम एक जो माउंटेनियरिंग जो भी तो है आई थिंक इन आवर जनरेशन इट्स अ कल्चर ट्रैकिंग इज बिलीव टू बी वेरी कूल but at the same time many don't understand it's a very responsible thing also because you go back and you just leave your footprints in the form of plastic garbage or whatever it is. How do you think it can be tackled? Could it be done with punishments or what? How will you make people be responsible when they go and they don't litter our mountains, hills, or anywhere they go? So how do you think it
See,
can
this is
possible?
something, yeah, there is no one shot solution.
Right.
It's from home only you need to be taught first. Self
Hmm.
education and self doing is the most important thing as a citizen.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, in the places like in mountaineering guidelines, what we have done is that every mountaineer who goes up, they will deposit 10,000 rupees,
Okay.
and they will everything is counted what they are taking. So if they bring those plastics back and submit to the expedition check post,
Hmm.
so your 10,000 rupees is back.
Is
So
back. Otherwise,
these type of instruments you can put. But at the same time, what I can say is that oneself, educating them, telling them not to litter, because high mountain, in mountaineering you cannot do without plastic, because you need to take the food
Right. Hmm.
in the lightest way. The
Hmm.
plastic is only the option, so that is it.
Right. So we need to be more aware and responsible, I guess. Okay, ma'am. And now coming to today's time, like you said, you didn't feel because you always wanted to be inside forest, work for the environment. So it wasn't very difficult for you. But if you look today, what do you feel is the biggest challenge for the forest officers? And do you think they get enough support from government and public?
See, as far as the regulatory part goes, obviously, forest service is like police service.
Hmm.
If you do, tab bhi just hai, nahi do, tab bhi nahi hai. So, anyway, we take it that, whatever we have to do, we'll be doing in the interest of service, basically.
Right.
So that way, obviously, when you are told to do, and you have to do that, so there's no other option than do it, basically.
Hmm.
So challenge, not challenge, that is a different thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is how I take any decision in service, whether it's hard or whether it's, I don't know, soft. uh, it's a decision you have to take, simple as that, basically. Yeah.
Okay, what you want to do. And about that, do you think they get enough support from public and government?
See, public, it depends, na. Public actually kya hai na, in which situation you are, it depends on that, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
I
government,
cannot tell right now, because I
every
cannot
situation is different,
I cannot generalize, because within forest department there are a number of postings
right?
which offers different type of challenges. So
Hmm.
I cannot generalize this, but obviously, yes, saving environment is a big challenge
Right.
that we see every day, even at a home.
That
Even in
that
home, we see saving environment is a big challenge. Then we talk of service, basically, where
that
you are in the other side of the fence, always trying to save. Yeah. So there's a
was
challenge.
that was my question. Actually, right now I am in Bengaluru, and from if I compare from the last year, this time the temperature is going up to 39 degrees. I don't know even मतलब past 5 साल में भी ये पहुंचा कि नहीं. So the effects of climate change is very prevalent nowadays. You don't need to read or listen to anybody. You can feel कि the climate is changing. So what do you think, according to you, should be our plan of action if we want to reverse the situation?
Best thing is to consume what you need only.
Yeah.
That is the only
Minimize,
solution.
minimize your comfort.
That
Yeah.
is the only solution. Otherwise, there's no way out. Yes.
No way out. Okay. And as part of service, if you could say what Indian Forest Services could, add when it comes to reversing the situation that we are facing nowadays. I'm talking about climate change, basically.
There's a huge, um, in a huge way, we can go for plantations in the sense, increase biodiversity, increase, but it's the people, we have to work with people for that, because land is limited.
Hmm.
So what you do, and you have to make forests remunerative for the people, where they can, not only plant, but if need be, it should support them economically also. So
Okay.
maybe, planting them with something like, you get a very good jungly fruit that
Okay.
is sellable.
Hmm.
जैसे सेजन हो गया, सजना हो गया, बाकी कई सारा है कि इसके पत्ती यूज होता है, किसका कुछ स्पेशली फ्रूट का.
Okay.
हाँ, आंवला, हर्रा, बहरा. So
Hmm.
lot many things are there where it is, they are, lot many nutraceuticals are also there.
Right.
Food, but it's a nutrition. Nutrition, but it's a pharmaceutical
Hmm.
ingredient. So that, I think these type of plants would be, looking into, uh, we have to be very, it depends from situation to situation what you want to do, but there's a huge scope, we can work for, but
Hmm.
we have to work with the people.
Right.
So, the people also need to want with you that we have to save forest. Then only we can save.
Okay. And like obviously you have given so many years for environment and conservation. Apart from environment, what is your favorite pastime? Like when you are not working, what you like to do?
I I like to trek.
Okay.
And
That's also
I
part of
like to, yeah. So I cook also.
okay. Okay. So what cuisine? Like you are from West Bengal, na?
So I like I like herbs.
Okay.
So I like condiments. I like to try out with different combinations. So I'm not very specific about something, Assamese, Bengali, something, but I would like to try new things basically with condiments. Yeah.
Okay, and ma'am, lastly, if not forest services, what do you think you would be doing? I think you must be might be an environment activist, I guess. I'm just guessing. What do you
If not forest service, then I think would like to मैं बढ़िया शेफ बन जाता.
Acha, chef. Okay. Okay. So that is great.
Environment is something very much ingrained.
Right.
So the way
Huh.
of life is environment. But I
Mm-hmm.
think to try out very innovatively uh, what you can do with the food as a gift from gift of nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great fun to work with. Yeah.
Just now you mentioned, so I thought of asking you this, although मेरे सारे questions तो वैसे खत्म हो गए थे, but still, you said कि environment is a way of life for you. So if you can talk to or say to common people, what two, three things they can do which will eventually help in saving the environment in their day-to-day life? Obviously, I think you'll start
कोई
with
नहीं है, पानी जितना चाहिए उतना ही यूज करो अपना.
electricity
जो
जितनी
भी
कम
गार्बेज है सेपरेट करो. सिंपल फंडा. हाँ.
हाँ,
और यही है कि जब क्या है कि जो चाहिए चीज उसी को कंज्यूम करो. बहुत ज्यादा चीज कंज्यूम करके कोई फायदा नहीं है.
well, it's not going to last. So, on that note, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. It was really, really enriching to talk to you. Thank you. Really, thank you so much.